Hello from Yes Queen channel. Thank you very much for watching our channel. And in today's video, for the second time, we're gonna have a special guest. So we've already uploaded another video a few days ago. And so again, my very good friend, Momo Oba. From now on, I'm gonna call her Momo because she's my good friend. So Momo is here as a guest. So, like during the Christmas holiday, I told Momo that, I want my friends to be on our show and talk about how they felt when I came out to them, because I think that could help another LGBTQ plus people who are planning to come out to their friends, or, non-LGBTQ plus people, if their friends come out to them, And she agreed to it. So we shot movies, and on the first video we talked about LGBTQI plus related topics, such as how Momo my friend felt when I came out to her that I like girls now, and also we've talked about the differences of of the location, because I live in the capital city of Japan, Tokyo, and Momo lives in west part of Japan. So we talked about LGBT surrounding environment could be different in the same country according to the location. Yeah. And today we're gonna talk about interracial relationship and the life of the comic artist. So Momo is married to a French guy, and I'm in a relationship with a beautiful, amazing Japanese girlfriend. And I'm also from Japan. I'm Japanese, but I used to live in Ireland, so I've never dated any Japanese before my girlfriend. So there are many cultural differences, so it's also like interracial relationship. So we're going to talk about interracial relationship, and also as Momo is a brilliant comic artist, manga artist, I'm going to ask her about the life of the comic artist and also the comic that she writes. I hope you enjoy it. Hello again from Yes Queen channel. So in my previous video, this woman right beside me already starred in my video. So she's my friend, my real good friend, and also like a brilliant comic artist, and also a mother of a really adorable baby daughter, Momo here. So thank you very much for being here today again, Momo.
Thank you for inviting me here.
Thank you.
Today too.
And so in my previous video, I briefly described, but so I used to live in Ireland, and I graduated secondary school, high school, and university in Dublin. But actually before that, I actually spent 3 weeks in Birmingham, UK, at the language school, and Momo was my classmate. And since then, we're really good friends. And in my previous video, we talked about LGBT related topics, like how Momo reacted when I came out to her that I actually like girls now. And also, I also asked her, what's the LGBT surrounding situation is like in the city where she lives, because I live in the capital of Japan, Tokyo, and Momo lives in western parts of Japan. And in today's video, I would like to talk about something else, So Momo is married to a French guy, and I am in a relationship with a Japanese woman, and it sounds our situations are very different, but actually we have something in common. So Momo and her husband, they have this interracial relationship, and I am Japanese and my girlfriend is Japanese as well. But before my girlfriend, because I used to live in Ireland, I've never been with any Japanese people. So although me and my girlfriend are both Japanese, it's like interracial relationship. So that's what we have in common. So first of all, I'd like to talk about that with Momo, and also because comic manga is a very big culture in Japan, and I realized that many of the viewers are also like non-Japanese people. So I thought it will be interesting to know about the comic, about the culture of the comic manga, how you can be the comic artist and what kind of comic she draws and all. So today I would like to talk about interracial relationship and what it's like to be a comic artist. So let's start with interracial relationship. So as I've said, we have something in common. Momo, like you're married to a French guy, and I'm kind of having this interracial relationship as well with my first Japanese woman. So, do you have any advice for interracial relationship?
Well, I don't have any advice, but to have a relationship with someone else can be really interesting. It's really fun, but sometimes it's difficult. First of all, international relationship is difficult because of the language and cultural differences as well. Um, my husband and I, uh, our uh, our language is English right now, but we are now shifting to French at home because of my daughter, because I want her to speak French before English. We live in Japan, so she learned Japanese like naturally, but French she has to learn French through the parents or the grandparents, like in video chat. And also it's difficult because you know I am Japanese, so I grew up in Japan, and certain like um, but my husband is French, lived in France when he was little. He grew up in France, so the culture um, we are in is so different that we cannot talk about like we don't have any common stuff about the childhood. Like it's difficult to say, but for example, like New Year's Day in Japan, we get together with the family, we do certain stuff, eat certain like food, do like go to the shrine for the New Year's prayer, but it's normal, it's an ordinary life for us, but for my French husband, it's not ordinary thing. And but for me, Christmas is it's not a big day. It was a big day when I was a little because I can get a present from Santa Cruz, but it's not a family stuff like New Year's Day. But for my husband, Christmas Day is the biggest day for the family. Get together, have a drink, have a nice meal and do fun stuff with the cousins. Like these cultural differences makes us sometimes difficult to share the memories of the life stage. Like we can talk about like coming age day, what do we do, but
Yeah, like so coming the age of days, like in Japan, when we turn 20, we have this huge celebration in like each like prefectures and each
yeah,
yeah.
but they don't have this kind of culture in France, so we cannot talk about like what did you do or what I did.
About the certain events that we
Mm.
for like children or
Wait,
teenagers,
yes, but at the same time, it's very interesting to know something that I don't know, and to get to know his culture little by little makes me happy. Like I can get to know him like every day by little things. So I think it's good to it's um there, there's so many stuff I can discover
That's
from
fun.
everyday life. That's fun.
That's nice.
So yeah, I feel like I can experience more than before.
Uh-huh.
And also, my husband uh, can find a lot of beautiful stuff in Japan that I haven't even noticed
Mm-hmm.
because it's always there. So it's difficult to see, oh, that is beautiful.
You take
Or,
it for granted.
mm,
Yeah.
mm. So, and also my husband asked a lot of questions. Actually, like French people ask me lots of questions when they visit Japan. So um, I get to know Japanese culture more than before
Mm-hmm. That's
because now, like if you live in Japan as a Japanese,
awesome.
sometimes you just pass and you don't even think about it, or even you don't research about it
Mm-hmm.
because you don't question about these stuff. But they and my husband asked me question about Japanese culture. So if I don't know about it, I research and tell them. So my knowledge about Japanese culture is, I think, uh, expanding.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really good to know the good stuff about Japan.
Mm-hmm. I get it. I mean, I totally agree with you because I'm also not familiar with all the Japanese culture. So when I'm with my girlfriend, I ask her so many questions, why this, why that, and all. So, my girlfriend calls me like little miss, why, So every time I ask her questions, she's like, okay, Mary, let's Google. Let's find out because I don't know neither. And she's like, oh, I learned this today. So like she's also
Mm,
very positive about the difference. So we learned something together, because sometimes, although she knows about so many things, but sometimes like you, she takes something for granted, so she doesn't know the meaning behind it. So we can learn together. That's fun. And also like, I mean, I understand. Like, I mean, I feel like I'm uh, on the side of your husband. So, like for example, when I do video chat with my girlfriend, and let's say she's saying she's wearing something Japanese style clothes, it's very simple, and for her it's nothing. But I found it very beautiful, so I just started getting really excited and like, oh my god, look at yourself in these clothes! You look so beautiful, and oh my god, you look so amazing! I just kept going on like this for the whole conversation, and she was like, no, stop it! This is just very like ordinary clothes, and I was like, no, you have no idea how amazing you look. So these kind of like new, I don't know, findings and discoveries, I enjoy that as well. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And
So
yeah.
yeah, it's good. It's good that I can discover French culture and Japanese culture at the same time. And that's likewise for my husband.
Hmm.
He he found something beautiful in Japan, but also at the same time, sometimes I question about French culture, and he research, and he, I think, get to know French more.
Hmm.
Mm.
So like.
And
Mhm.
as you told me, like you said, like learning new stuff together, it's feeling good. It's
Yeah, I totally get it. And I mean, talking about learning, I also you've also told me before that you're learning French, right?
mm,
And I think that's amazing of you. And so what about the communication? Like, do you have any comments on communication difference?
communication difference. Uh, like I on in general, French people talks before thinking.
Okay.
Like really talk really fast. They like chatting a lot. They never stop talking. But I think before talking. So
Hmm.
sometimes it takes time to talk for
Like,
me, and it's frustrating for my husband because he wants to know what I'm thinking, like right away. So that's sometimes it's difficult. And uh, like jokes are different too. Like communication wise, they use lots of jokes in the conversations, and the jokes are different from Japanese. So sometimes it's like difficult to understand what what it means.
Like I get it as well. Um, although I'm Japanese, like I spent some years in Ireland, so I used to think in English, right? So when I got back, I had some tough time, catching up with my Japanese language, and then so especially in the beginning, it was really difficult to communicate with my girlfriend. Like I've been googling how to be sweet and all, and but like really like when we argued, I really couldn't say anything in Japanese because I was too emotional to think in Japanese. So, and it was a little bit annoying. It bothered me that I couldn't say something back to my girlfriend. And also, I I mean, of course my girlfriend is aware that how much I love her, and
Yeah.
everybody knows how much I love her, right? But sometimes I feel like I cannot express how I would feel towards her, in a way I really want to show her.
Yeah, yeah.
So that also bothered me as well. And she saw me being bothered. She saw me struggling to express my feelings in Japanese. So she was like, I understand that you're struggling. And the thing is that I want to understand you more. I want to know you better. So that's why I'm going to start learning English. And she's still learning English. And I think that's really adorable. And that shows that, I'm having efforts to understand the culture in Japan, how to express feelings and how to behave in culture and all, and just also learning English so we can communicate, like really communicate. So I think the point is that our mutual effort is like really the key. It shouldn't be just one person trying so hard. It should be like two people trying to understand each other and trying to meet in a halfway kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah, your girlfriend is amazing
Amazing.
because
Super amazing.
learning, yeah, it's really sweet because learning languages takes a lot of efforts and a lot of energy. Takes a lot of time too. So making these kind of efforts, um, makes your relationship better and better. I think that shows like that's respecting you because she respects you as the way you are, even like you use English and Japanese. Sometimes she wants to accept everything. So that's why she learning English to get to know you better. So I respect her attitude.
Thank you, and I do respect her as well.
Yeah, it's important to make effort to keep and make it better the relationship.
What about you and your husband?
So now we try to speak French in at home. So my husband try to speak to me in French, like he talked to his family in France. So there's so many jokes and funny stuff. Sometimes the French humor that I don't understand, and but he want me to understand the jokes, but I don't have to imitate the way he talks. If I cannot make jokes, I don't have to because he accepts the way I am. Even though I cannot make jokes, like he does because sometimes it's difficult to make jokes like French people. So many like dog humor and like sex related. I'm not good at these like jokes.
I can't
So
making these kind of jokes.
so you don't have to be like them. Like you don't have to be like the other person
Mm-hmm.
with different culture. You can be who you are with your culture.
Mm-hmm.
The important thing is that you accept
The difference.
the differences and respect. If I don't like the jokes, I can tell him that I don't like the jokes.
Mm-hmm.
And if I want him to stop, I can tell him.
Mm-hmm.
And he should like understand my feelings too, and you know, like caring each other is the most important thing,
Mm-hmm.
I think.
That's really nice that your husband is like, you don't have to try to make jokes like us. If you can't, it's fine, right? That's really, I think that's really important. And I mean, now we're talking about interracial like relationships, and like from what we've discussed, I guess the advice would be, um, let's respect each other first of all, and let's accept the
Mm,
difference. And then, of course, like we both need to work on to understand
mm,
each other, but it should come from both ways, right? And I
yeah,
think that's really, really important. And yes,
mm,
that's definitely a really good advice for an interracial relationship. But I
mm,
think that could be said for not just like interracial relationships, any kinds of
yeah,
relationships, I guess, not
yeah,
like romantic, but between family and friends and all. So yeah, I think
yeah,
we came up with a really good advice. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
No matter the nationality or the sexuality, it's important to
Mhm.
respect each other
Yeah, for
and
sure.
care each other.
Thank you. And if we talk about these kind of like, relationship things, I'll be talking about my girlfriend forever. Like, I mean, even like, because I mean, I wanted to ask you a question, so I held myself, not to don't bring, don't bring up about my, don't bring up, but, I still talked about it. And so, you know, I can keep going forever talking about my
Mhm.
girlfriend. So let's change the topic before I start again. So now let's talk about manga comic. Okay.
Okay, yeah.
So I've briefly introduced earlier that Momo's comic was published on January 7th as a series, and which was her second time that her comic was released on the website called Cakes. So I would like to know, like your first time, I would like to know how you ended up releasing your comic.
Mm.
So how you felt about that experience and how it happened. Can you tell me about it?
Okay, sure. First of all, I started to draw manga when I was 20,
I remember.
but it was really tough. And I tried to make like shoujo manga, if you know, it's like a romantic comedy,
For teenagers.
comics, way comics for teenagers, yeah, girls. But it was really difficult. It's really difficult to create new like stories, and I was stuck, so I couldn't continue.
Mm-hmm.
So I worked as a assistant manga artist.
Mm-hmm.
So I was drawing backgrounds at school, like building and stuff. And then I changed my career,
Mm-hmm.
and then I got married. I gave a birth, a baby, so I quit my job, and now I thought I want to. I started to feel like I want to draw again,
Mm-hmm.
and then my husband pushed me, and I started a manga again
Supportive. Very nice.
when my daughter was like 1, and I put my manga in a competition for
Mm-hmm.
the new manga artist or want to be a manga artist.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was a one like competition specialized in essay manga. Essay manga is a manga based on a true story. And I did like 20-page manga and I got a prize. Then I found like I realized that I want to continue drawing manga about like us because I draw about like the life about my husband and me in
Mhm.
Japan, because it's funny to observe my husband how to react to the Japanese culture,
Mhm.
like a culture shock,
Mhm.
and it's interesting, like because it's normal to me.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
I wanted to continue drawing about us,
Mhm.
like discovery about Japan or discovery about France, French culture, like both sides.
Mhm.
Then even though I got a prize from the competition, it wasn't my debut. I couldn't continue my essay manga. It was just a just a one prize. So, but I wanted to continue.
Mhm.
So I started to put uh, my manga on the SNS social media, Instagram. Then, like one editor found me and she sent me an email. Why don't you draw about your story on the website Gigs? So that's how I started.
Mhm.
So I think you don't know how it works to be a manga artist,
I really
right?
so can I ask you about the competition you've
Mm.
mentioned? You said you
So,
first won the competition, right? And you
right.
said that although like you didn't have your like debut comic right after that, you had to post your stuff on SNS. But I
Mm.
mean, how does that work? I mean, do you have to win the competition like you did in order to be a comic artist?
Like standard way to be a manga artist to put your work in a concours, like a competition,
Mhm.
and get a prize, and your work gonna be on the media, paper,
Uh-huh.
magazine, or website. That's your debut as a manga artist.
Uh-huh.
But you have to continue working on the manga if we want to put your manga on the website or on the internet or the paper. You have to be approved by the editor.
Uh-huh.
But um, so anyway, this is the start for the manga artist to put your manga to the competition.
Mhm. So okay, so you have to okay, so is it the only way to be a comic artist to win the competition?
Uh,
Or,
right now, there's so many ways to be a manga artist thanks to the social media. You can put your manga on the Twitter or Instagram. If you can get a like, buzz, you can be popular. Sometimes you can be asked by the editor to publish comics or put your manga on the internet or like a magazine. So there's right now there's so many ways to be a manga artist.
that's cool. So I mean, I guess it's a lot more different. Like I
Mm.
mean, it's really different compared to like when you were like 20 years old, right?
Yeah,
Also,
yeah,
I mean, of course, like you, I mean, there's a big way to be a comic artist, which is to win the competition. But also, um, if you still, if you can't even win the competition, you could try. You could still try to like
yeah,
get support for on their
yeah,
SNS to express
yeah,
yourself.
mm,
That's really good. Okay,
yeah. So many opportunities for many people
that's
if
good.
you're passionate about it.
That's good. That's good. Okay. Yeah, like I guess like I mean, now like we're on YouTube, like talking about stuff. This is also a way to express. So I think it's really good that now we have more ways to express ourselves. Yeah.
Mm.
And so thank you. I understood about how you became a comic artist because I really didn't know how it works. Like winning the award. What kind of award is that? So thank you. And uh, so as I've previously mentioned, this is your second time, right? Second
Yeah,
season. So
yeah.
I would like to know your first time. Like I mean, how it was and what it was about, and any I don't know.
Yeah.
So
It
please.
was. I was so happy to be able to. like draw
Uh-huh.
and start like manga, like a series,
Uh-huh.
like TV series, manga series,
Uh-huh.
and um, I my editor was interested about like how we met story.
Uh-huh.
French guy meet Japanese girl, but I say I wanted to draw about when I gave a birth because it was so interesting experience for me
Uh-huh.
because the 1 week before the due date,
Uh-huh.
6 French people, I mean French family, came to our house
Uh-huh.
and spent 3 weeks together experiencing Japanese stuff.
Uh-huh.
So I told her that I want to draw this.
And that is really like very unique experience. But
Yeah.
before going into the detail, like I also want to like talk about how you and your husband met as well, because for me, you say it's nothing special, but for me it's like very dramatic. So can I share that with
Yeah, sure.
because the viewers can read about your husband's French family visiting Japan on the website, but you didn't share, like you didn't like publish how you met, right? I mean, on Instagram you did, but
Yeah, only like 2 page. I draw.
I mean, may I?
Yeah, sure.
So I mean, um, so correct me if I'm wrong, right? But
Mhm.
so your husband lived in France at that time, and his friends suggested to him, "Oh, let's make a document. Let's shoot a documentary film. You know, uh, by like cycling across Japan." So your husband was like, "Yeah, cool, why not?" So like your husband started cycling all over Japan with a bicycle and his friend. So and then like on his way, he arrived at your city, right? But because of the real bad weather and he couldn't like go anywhere, so he was stuck in. He was
Yeah, the bicycle is broken.
Yeah, so he even didn't have a way for transportation. So he was literally stuck, right?
Yeah.
And then but then thanks to these accidents, he met you. And although he was about to like cycle, like I don't know, cycle to like further south parts or whatever, he decided,
Yeah.
okay, now I fell in love with Momo. Stay here, and he just decided to stay there because he fell in love with you, and you guys are married. So I think it's very dramatic, and I think it's a really beautiful love story.
Thank you. Yeah, we married uh within 6 months since we met.
Uh-huh. Beautiful.
That was really fast.
Yeah. And so I just really wanted to share this story because I think it's very dramatic and I love the story. And I mean, I remember, like, so for New Year's, like, we had this culture to send a postcard. It's like a greeting card for Christmas, a holiday greeting card. So Momo always sends that to my, to where my like family lives, right? I live in Tokyo, but I'm actually from the south part of Japan. So my Momo actually sends the greeting card to my how do I say it? My home address where my family lives. So every time my mom takes a picture of it and she sends it to like a family group chat, and then there was like one time when my mom sent that picture on the group chat, like the picture of the greeting card from Momo, I found out that her family name was different and it sounded very non-Japanese. So when it
Western.
was on the family group chat, all of us were like, "Oh my god, what happened to Momo?" And I was like, "Oh, she's married, and congrats!" But we were also so I
but
remember.
I thought I told you.
I really don't think you did.
I don't remember now.
Good memory.
But I thought I did.
Anyway,
Surprise!
no, yeah, surprise, yeah. But anyway, so that's how you met, and it's very interesting. And also you told me that you also had this unique experience of a French family visiting you right before giving a birth. So tell me more about it, please.
So when I told the French family that the due date,
Mm-hmm.
they said to me, we want to be there
That's
when when our first grandchild will be born. That's really sweet of them. So I said, "Well, please come."
Mhm.
Then I thought just family, 3 family come visit us, but actually the father-in-law's friends and the daughter and my mother-in-law's cousin also came to
yeah.
Japan because they they had been like wanting to come to Japan for a long time.
So this was a really good opportunity.
So yeah, it was a good opportunity for them. So apparently my father-in-law asked them, and they say why not. So like six people came to our house and stayed in a little house for 3 weeks.
Nice.
It was really interesting,
Uh-huh.
and yeah, so we did a lot of stuff together, like experienced Japanese tea ceremony, or we went to sushi restaurant, or you know, just go shopping in a supermarket, like find something new for them.
Mm-hmm.
Go to I think yakiniku,
Mm-hmm. Like barbecue.
like barbecue in a restaurant.
Nice.
It was very interesting, and you know, like everything is new for them.
Mhm.
They look so excited,
Yeah.
like you're like a kid, and it was so nice to be there,
Mhm.
experiencing what they are experiencing,
Mhm.
and find out it was really good opportunity for me too to know about Japan,
Mhm.
how Western people see Japan and Japanese culture,
Mhm.
and I um, I wanted to share this experience. Like Japan is beautiful. Maybe you don't realize. Maybe Japanese people don't realize how beautiful it is.
Mhm.
But I had a chance to know that it is beautiful. So I wanted to share this like experience in a moment by drawing manga
That's lovely. So,
with Japanese people because
mhm.
you know sometimes you don't realize like little stuff which are really nice, but they are always there. They are so close, so you cannot see. And yeah, just like I I just wanted to share with this experience with these Japanese people.
So correct me if I'm wrong. So, like, what you're trying to say is that so there are some like I don't know, like the beauty in Japan that Japanese people are not aware of because Japanese people take them for granted. But when your husband's family visited Japan, they appreciate all this beauty. So you want to share this beauty to the readers, Japanese readers, like, hey,
Mm,
like, we have this beautiful culture that we're not aware of because we take them for granted, like that, right?
mm,
Like, I think that's really nice. I think that's a really
mm,
good, like, I don't know, purpose to like draw comic or manga for like the viewers. I think that's really nice. Yeah.
mm.
Mhm. And
Thank you.
like thank you for like sharing these with us. And like I mean, I love your like manga. I love your episodes, and I mean, yes, like you already like post manga on the Cake website called Cake, but you also have these like little like stories. You also post these little stories on your Instagram, and
Mhm.
my favorite story is the one with the cheese. I thought it was very like Japanese French thingy, like interracial thing. Like I mean, the cultural difference between Japan and France brought this like I don't know, funny episodes. So like, can you talk about it, please, if it's okay?
So the year when we got married in Japan, we visited France for Christmas with with my parents too. And because I love cheese, so I eat a lot of cheese there, like a lot of amount of cheese.
Yeah,
like you cannot you cannot imagine.
Lucky.
And on the way back to Japan, on the airplane, I was really sick, and I thought I ate too much cheese. I had enough cheese, like more than enough. So I was thinking like I should refrain myself from eating. Then like because also my dad was like a little bit sick, so I thought like we thought like that's French cheese, you know. But 1 week later, I was still sick, so I talked to my mom, and my mom thinks like, oh, that's like morning sickness, probably. so
Cheese.
so so I went to the pharmacy and get a test, like pregnancy test kit, and I was pregnant. So
Enjoy the lovely French cheese again.
yeah. So with my husband, we are saying that our daughter is half cheese, half like Japanese, like half made of fromage, made of cheese and Japan and France, and a little bit.
Well, what do you mean?
Like we think that my daughter are made of French cheese and some Japanese and French, like us, some difficult.
It's not like half cheese, half rice. Half cheese and what?
No. Normally, our daughter should be half me and half my husband. But half cheese and quarter me, quarter my husband.
So your daughter loves cheese so much. No?
I don't know.
I finally got it because you had so much cheese in your tummy.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
I was too slow. Now I got it. Sorry.
Sorry, I didn't explain well. I guess.
No. Yeah, I love that episode. Yeah. And yeah, like so, like these kinds of like funny episodes are like on Instagram as well, and also on the cake. So, I mean, I would like you viewers to like check her like Instagram account because like her Instagram account is like so many like manga and like illustration, and she also draws so much, loads of like her daughter, really pretty daughter. So I really would love you to check it out. So please check out my comment section because I'm gonna share the link. Yeah, and what else? So I don't know. I don't know if any of the viewer wants to be a comic artist in the future, but if there's any, do you have any advice for those who wants to be a comic artist in the future?
Right now, there's so many ways to express yourself and the place where you can express yourself. So if you have any idea, you just draw and post on Instagram or Twitter, or if you are interested in like publishing your manga, you can contact the editors. So give it a try.
Give it a try. I think that's a really great advice. And what else? Do you have anything else you want to say, or any questions, or?
And support Mari, please. I think it's great what she does, because in Japan, the it's difficult for people who are sexual minority. So it's good to like make a place where you can talk freely, and that's what she does. So I think, I want I want people to support Mary.
Thank you. I mean, like, so usually when I take my video, I start with English one because it's easier for me, and then after that I take Japanese version, right? But this time I've discussed with Momo, and then we agreed that okay, let's start with Japanese because that'll be easier for Momo, right? So
Yeah.
even for the Japanese one, I wanted her to like advertise her comics. So in the end of the video, I asked her, you know, if you want to say something about her comics, and then even that time she was like, support Mari. And then this time she did that again. So like, oh my God, Momo is so amazing. Momo is so nice. But this time she added that part, you know, which she didn't talk about in the Japanese part, you know, like she even said about the difficulty of coming out in Japan. So really, thank you so much for like being so understanding and so supportive. Like really. So like really, thank you. Like you're so amazing. So I guess you have to take care of your daughter. So I guess we better go now. But thank you very much, Momo, again.
Thank you. Thank you so much for inviting me.
If you viewers have any questions for Momo related to like manga or like you know taking care of the daughter in Japan or like I don't know how to raise a bilingual child. I don't know. Like if you have any questions,
Yeah, we are trying.
post questions on the comment section. So thank you very much again, Momo.
Thank you.
Thank you. So talk to you soon. Oh,
Yeah,
let's do Instagram live from your account next time, yeah?
yeah.
Yeah.
We
So
can talk about it.
yeah. So thank you very much and see you very soon. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you very much for watching our video. I hope you enjoyed it. And you know, if you have any questions about manga, comic for Momo, please feel free to write any comments or questions. And if you have any comments or questions for me or my girlfriend, also welcome as well. So I hope you enjoyed it. And if you liked the video, please press like. And if you haven't subscribed to our channel, please press subscribe. So thank you very much and see you very soon. Bye.